So you're coming to visit or maybe moving to Charlotte, North Carolina? Well, welcome to our YouTube channel, Living in Charlotte, NC. This is the ultimate guide for anyone considering moving to or visiting the Queen City. So whether you're drawn to our lush landscapes, booming banking center, or vibrant cultural scene, Charlotte has something for everyone. And today we're going to explore some of those gems that make this city unique, so stick around. I'm Dave DeSilva with Long Tab Realty, brokered by eXp Realty. And if this is your first time to this channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the bell, and you'll be the first one to know and get notified when we put out more videos about Charlotte and the general area. We get texts, calls, messages all the time from people just like you that are wondering what it's like around Charlotte. So whether you're visiting here or coming to live in Charlotte, in 10 days, 10 weeks, 10 months, we would love to entertain any of your questions. So please also leave comments, let us know what you want to hear more about. So let's go ahead and jump right into today's topic, some of the hidden gems of Charlotte, North Carolina. All right, well, we are just off of the trail here at McMullen Creek, part of the Greenway system in Charlotte. And one of the things that we're going to talk about as a gem of Charlotte is that Charlotte is known as a city of trees. And we'll talk about that controversy a little bit later. But every year since 1980, the National Arbor Day Foundation has named Charlotte one of the Tree City USAs. So we've got that recognition going for us. With a tree canopy that covers nearly half the city, places like Myers Park and places like 4th Ward, Uptown have become known for their green areas and also for their shady walkways. So for those who love the outdoor, places like Freedom Park, Park Road Park, Colonel Beatty Park over in Matthews, or Little Sugar Creek Greenway, which we're a part of now, always provide a perfect setting for afternoon strolls, weekend long runs, fishing, kayaking, or bike rides. Now, of course, you're not going to get away with saying that there's a lot of greenery around here and we're at our peak without some controversy or an argument. Charlotte is a rapidly growing city, and there are people that would contend, and rightfully so in some cases, that the canopy cover is going away instead of increasing. And there are great efforts by the developers, and they're being pushed a little bit obviously by the canopy rights people, but there are great opportunities for the developers to add better and more greenway and green space and tree cover into their developments. And what that does for the neighborhoods and for the community, studies have shown, is it helps with crime reduction, it helps with air and water quality, and believe it or not, it helps reduce energy costs. And those are some things that we can all get behind. Now, you might not know it by these trails and by the way things are looking right around here, but Charlotte is the second largest banking hub in the United States. Charlotte is home to major banks like Bank of America, obviously, and then also Wells Fargo's Eastern Coast headquarters, and probably another dozen banks, and we also are home to 20 to 25 credit unions. Being a financial institution and a financial powerhouse like that attracts diversity, attracts people from all over the globe. And that combination makes this just a dynamic place and a very diverse workplace. And of course, that's something that is a very attractive and appealing aspect of Charlotte. So if you're moving here to work in the financial industry, you're in good company. Another thing that Charlotte's got going for it is its ability to attract filmmakers. Years ago, The Hunger Games was filmed in Charlotte. That shows the diversity or the versatility of the area. One of my favorite shows from way back, probably the early 2000s, was Shallow Hal with Jack Black, Gwyneth Paltrow, and Tony Robbins, and that was filmed here in Charlotte. And it's kind of cool to see a lot of the restaurants, Freedom Park, and some other places where they did the filming. And of course, Lake Lure, west of Charlotte, was the headquarters and the main filming location for that good old movie, Dirty Dancing. So next, if you're a beer enthusiast, you're speaking my language, and hopefully this helps you a little bit, but you're coming to paradise if you're coming to Charlotte. There's about 30 craft beer, or 30 breweries in the area, including Noda Brewing Company, Legion Brewing, and OMB, Old Mecklenburg Brewery, which was one of the originals or one of the ones from way back. They've been doing beer brewing here since at least 2000 when I moved to Charlotte. All right, so hopefully you can hear me, but two of my favorite places that I haven't mentioned yet are Pour 64 in Pineville, which offers a ton of craft beers from the area, and they'll let you take them home as well as try them there. But my number one favorite brewery around the area is Middle James, and these guys have let me in, take a peek. This is what they're going to give me as a gift, and let me take home a keg. But taking a peek at some of the vats here, some of the mini kegs, some of the big kegs, than what they're using to ship things out with. So go ahead and make sure you're visiting Middle James if you're into the brew system and the breweries around Charlotte. Each of these places offers like really unique flavors that capture the spirit of the city, and the brewery tours and tastings are a must do. So come on down. All right, so here's the magic behind the brewing. That's Kevin, the brewer at Middle James. I'm gonna get his home number. He's gonna be my new best buddy, except for Ben, who's the manager here. So thanks, guys. So another hidden gem, it's maybe not a hidden gem, but a gem that I really think highlights Charlotte is the mix of the old and the new. And what we're seeing here are some of the older neighborhood areas of Charlotte. You can see that Charlotte will perfectly blend, historic charm with modern innovation. And neighborhoods like Dilworth, Plaza Midwood, and here we are just off of Selwyn a little bit, offer quaint homes, local boutiques. Well, Uptown, if you go Uptown, you're going to see modern day skyscrapers, and the Labine Museum of the South and the Mint Museum up there Uptown. Lots of new buildings. On the outskirts of Charlotte, you're going to find the same thing. You're going to find walkable suburbs like Belmont, Unveiled, Davidson, Matthews. So they have their historic charm, but then you mix in Ballantyne and places like Charlotte's new River District that offers more modern amenities that attracts visitors, residents, businesses. So a great mix. And what I'll talk about next, and once I get down there, is Ballantyne Reimagined, which kind of encompasses all of this new modern stuff. Let me backtrack a little bit here before we spend some time heading down into Ballantyne to check out Ballantyne Reimagined, which is awesome. Let's take a look at something that is really attractive in Charlotte, and that's some of the older historical homes in Charlotte. Just great architecture. Some of them are getting renovated, and there are a few places where there's an infill lot or a lot that had an older, maybe even a dilapidated home on it that got torn down, and what they would call McMansions were built. The nice thing is, in some of the historical districts around Charlotte, you get to meet certain requirements for those new builds, and those new builds that would come with specific windows, specific designs, height, size, elevation, which is the frontage, what the front looks like. So again, it's really one of the attractive things about the Charlotte market is you've got this great mix of new and old. And since we're on the subject of new meets old or old meets new, I got to talk about the Ballantyne Reimagined project in Ballantyne. This is probably the hottest modernization of an area that's going on in Charlotte, and you're looking at the AMP Ballantyne there. I'll talk about that in a second, but this is about 500 plus acres of redevelopment that's been taking place for a couple years. I intend to do a YouTube video on this project alone, Ballantyne Reimagined, but it's going to be a great mix of retail, of high-end shopping retail, some dining, fine dining. OMB, Old Mecklenburg Breweries, got a 16,000 square foot venue that's nearly finished, it seems like, with a 1 acre courtyard. And of course, you get the Ballantyne Resort Hotel over there and the play area behind it. The Bowl, which is going to house a lot of these new endeavors, is going to be a great place to go and visit. But this is going to be very walkable. Entertainment, programmed entertainment, yoga classes. Right there you can see the AMP, which holds about 3,500 people. They had their first concert in September of 23. The next concerts, I believe, are scheduled to start in April of 24. Hotels, businesses behind and around the Ballantyne Reimagined. But enough about that. Charlotte is a great mix of the old and the new. And my favorite thing about this area is you've got a connection to the Charlotte Greenway, which I'm on all the time, and you'll be able to add the mileage around this area. So cool stuff here going on in Charlotte. And I've done videos on a number of those suburbs that are walkable, like I just mentioned, Belmont, Pineville, Matthews. This rate, what I'm showing you now, is part of Ballantyne, and this is the new modern. This is Ballantyne Reimagined, and it is hundreds of acres that used to be the golf course, Ballantyne Country Club Golf Course, or Ballantyne Resort Golf Course, and being renovated. It's been in the works for a number of years. A lot of it's going to be coming online this year, 2024, and the residential section will start in 2025. But what we've got going here are hundreds of acres of retail locations, shops, green space. You can see a playground here behind the resort building, a little river. There's the road leading up to Route 485 or 485 in Circle Charlotte, and that's the AMP. That's already open. They've had some concerts there. 3,500 people can attend these concerts. It's very walkable. It's just going to be one of those tremendous places in Charlotte, but this is the modern that mixes with what we've already shown you as some of the historic area around Charlotte. All right, this is not the National Whitewater Center, but some adventurers will find their paradise at the U.S. National Whitewater Center, excuse me. They offer activities from whitewater rafting to wall climbing, zip lining, trail running, and of course, mountain bike riding as well on those trails. And it's an ideal spot for those looking to add a little bit of excitement to their Charlotte visit. So what we're talking about here as a gem is outdoor recreation, and it is never ending around the Charlotte market. If you're a water person and you're looking for competition for the Whitewater Center, then look no further than Lake Wylie or Lake Norman for your water enthusiasts. And there's also dozens of parks, small and large, as well over 100 plus miles of Greenway and urban trails. That's about 70 miles of Greenway, which we're just jumping on right here. And then the urban trails are those trails that are going through the towns and the cities. So that's part of the Greenway up that way. And this is part of the Greenway under Sharehair Road West, as you can see. And this is one that I'm on maybe a couple weekends a month with my running buddy. But I've also done a number of these videos on the parks. And recently one on the greenways here. A person just rode by, rang the bell, meaning, hey, look out, I'm coming up on your left. So you've got riders and runners on these greenways. But I've done a number of videos on the parks and the greenways, so check those out. You can find them on the YouTube channel Living in Charlotte NC by me. And if you're on the lakes, be sure to stop into the North Harbor Club up on Lake Norman and then Drift for a bite. And Drift is on Lake Wylie for a bite or a beer or something like that. So next we're going to go ahead and look at a little historical location in Charlotte. So as I step off the Greenway here in Charlotte, I'm going to step back into history a little bit. Like that play on words, I hope. We're going to take a look at the historic Rosedale Plantation, which is off North Tryon, just north of Charlotte. It was built in 1815 on a 900-acre plot of land and stayed in family hands and passed through various family members up until 1986. Almost said 1886, but it was 1986. And at that point, it was sold to the Historic Preservation Society. And in the 1990s, they went, after some renovation, they went and reopened it. And now you can see the federal-style home, about 4,000 square feet of it, which was the largest home of its type in Charlotte back in the day. You can see that on tours. They have weddings out there and different events where you can rent the plantation. Okay, back off the trail now, looking a little bit better, I hope. Got a little bit of a shave and a shower. But one of the things I want to quickly mention as a gem in Charlotte, and this is for families and for thrill seekers, is Carowinds Amusement Park. It provides endless fun with rides and attractions and a water park. And it's just straddling the North Carolina-South Carolina border south of Charlotte. And one thing you can't miss when you're down there, a lot of things you can't miss, but one thing is the Fury 325, which is one of the tallest and fastest roller coasters in the world. There's also a great Halloween event called Carowinds, and that's not to be missed. They dress up monsters and ghouls all over the place. A lot of the rides and a lot of the houses that they have there are all decked out in scary, to make it a scary environment. So great place, and that's Carowinds. So if you're enjoying this video, please go ahead and think about giving it a like and maybe make some comments and let us know what more you want to see. We've still got a little ways to go on this, so don't leave us yet. So the next thing we want to talk about is Charlotte as a business hub and a business center, and not just any business. But besides having the headquarters for 10 Fortune 500 companies like Bank of America, Lowe's, Honeywell, Duke Power, Charlotte is quickly becoming a tech innovation hub, with companies like Red Ventures and Avid Exchange leading the charge. And I think Avid Exchange just recently was named by the Charlotte Business Journal as one of the top places to work. So congratulations, great job. But it's the city's supportive ecosystem for startups that makes it a very attractive location for entrepreneurs and tech professionals. What you're going to find are regularly scheduled in-person meetings, Zoom events. You should check out Eventbrite for those schedules, and an entrepreneurial, and these are all with an entrepreneurial focus. And they've got classes and podcasts, focus on business expansion, everything you need to get your business off the ground. And if you're a sports fan, you're going to love Charlotte. Sports fans can cheer on the Charlotte Hornets at the Spectrum Center or catch the Carolina Panthers, a game at Bank of America Stadium. This year, you might not be cheering on the Hornets so much. They're a little bit sketchy. And last year, the Panthers, well, let's just say we've got room for improvement. But one of the newer attractions in Uptown Charlotte and the sporting scene is the newest addition to Major League Soccer, Charlotte FC. We just had our first game of the 2024 season last weekend, and we beat NYCFC 1-0. So that's the first opening game that we've won here in Charlotte, and this is our third season. It's a great game day atmosphere, and it's felt all over the city. And overall, the city's sports culture is vibrant, and it offers someone for every type of fan. We also have minor league baseball, we've got professional hockey, we've got undeniably a top level of college and high school sports here. We've got great rec leagues for all ages, from little tykes up to adults, the over 50 leagues. It's just a great location if you're into athletics, into sports, either watching or participating. And Charlotte also, I'll have to mention, is the home to the reigning North Carolina 4A men's soccer state champs, South Mecklenburg High School. Go South. Also, it's a big NASCAR center. Charlotte is the hallowed ground for NASCAR. We've got Charlotte Motor Speedway, northeast of Charlotte a little bit. It's actually just on the outskirts. And then the NASCAR Hall of Fame downtown. And that offers a thrilling experience for racing enthusiasts or fans, and you just want to get out there and watch the sport or go see the history of the sport. Events like the Coca-Cola 600 come every year and attract hundreds of thousands of people to the Charlotte market. Art lovers, well, Noda Arts District is the heart of Charlotte's art scene, featuring street art, galleries, live music. I've been to several events up there that the soccer team has put on. It's just a hub of creativity and a testament to the city's thriving cultural landscape. Some people say we don't have really much of a culture here in Charlotte. Well, it's being built, and Noda is leading the way. And Uptown Charlotte has a number of places to catch a Broadway-type show or a small stage musical event. I think the Belt Theater at the Blumenthal Performing Arts Center, Uptown Charlotte, is hosting Peter Pan and Moulin Rouge this month. And earlier I mentioned that the AMP in Ballantyne, the AMP Ballantyne, now at Ballantyne Reimagined, has opened up and starts showing again for the season in April. So lots of musical events going on down there as well. Now for you art lovers, you can rejoice as well. The Mint Museum, North Carolina's oldest art museum, is a cultural cornerstone in Charlotte, featuring American and international art collections. And here's the good thing, there are now 2 Mint museums, one uptown and one down on Randolph Road. Hold on, I'm coming to my conclusion. So as you can see, and as you have seen, and if you look at some of my other videos, you're going to see, Charlotte is a city of beauty, opportunity, and diversity, and pretty good sports. Whether you're here for the green spaces, the booming job market, the rich cultural experiences, you'll find a community that's welcoming and vibrant. So living in Charlotte, North Carolina, the name of my YouTube channel, is here to guide you through all this and more. So please go ahead and subscribe for more insights and join us as we explore everything Charlotte has to offer. As always, please go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know what you'd like to see and what you think of this video.